Othello.
I'm Rich.
I'm Aaron.
I'm John.
And even without Jelly, by our fandoms combined, we're Fandom United. That was really weird. It's kind of confused my...
Hey, it didn't
you got
throw
me,
you
though.
off,
It didn't
though.
throw... Yeah, I caught it. I caught it. You know, it was just a little pop-up, but I caught it. All right, so the biggest news that we have coming to you this week, obviously, is... I mean, we've been talking about this even before we got started, was Lord High Kevin Feige now.
All hell.
Yeah, all hell Kevin Feige. So news came down, was it yesterday? That at Disney, they have now made Kevin Feige the chief creative officer over Marvel Comics, Marvel Studios, and Marvel TV. So Marvel Entertainment.
And he's got a little Star Wars in there.
And a little Star Wars movie he's producing. Just a little thing. So now anything having to do creatively on a screen or presented to you to ingest as content is all under Kevin Feige's purview now. That's huge. That's huge. And if you're sorry, but if you're running Marvel Entertainment, I have to laugh. If you're Ike Perlmutter,
Oh, yeah.
boy, yesterday was a punch in the ding ding. It was just kind of I mean, as soon as you walked in the door,
Everyone was chanting, all hail Caesar Feige. Like,
yeah, like I mean, Perlmutter's still there. He's in charge of like the operations.
they're not going to get rid of him.
No, because he has a golden parachute, right? But he has, but it's like
The person that it's like
They basically
it's
stuck
like
him
the
in the
person
mailroom.
the person you've been arguing with at work the whole time just got a major promotion and now you're boss.
no, no. He's not his boss. It's even worse than that. It's your subordinate, who you argue with all the time, went above your head to your boss, and your boss says, "You know what? You report to me." And now, as you're looking at this guy who still reports up through you, but he just ignores you and goes to your boss all the time, now says, "You know what? I'm gonna give you a promotion," and now he is your equal. So he and Ike Perlmutter are equals. Kevin Feige just has the creative stuff, the fun stuff, and they left Ike Perlmutter like accounting and distribution and
All right.
stuff like
You
that.
remember The Office?
Mhm.
The weird dude with the glasses,
Dwight Schrute?
but that's my stapler. That
Oh,
guy.
yeah. Oh, you're
When
talking about
they-
Office Space.
Yeah, Office Space.
Yeah,
Space,
yes.
That'd be
Wh-
Milton.
Milton, yes.
When they threw him down into the
into
mail
the
room.
into the basement.
Oh, the basement, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's essentially what they did with Ike.
But I
Like,
mean,
he's still
Ike
there.
Ike is still there.
He still
got
has a
power.
job, but he's not doing
Somebody needs to
anything.
send that man a red swingline stapler.
You know, somehow I think I think actually what happened is he just came and sat on his desk, and it's like at the CIA, at the government offices, like they usually have a picture of the president at the desk behind him or whatever. I bet Feige probably just hung his picture behind him like, ha ha, yeah, gotcha. So yeah, but after all of that, I mean, you think about the potential now that Kevin Feige has to architect anything Marvel. We're talking animation could get a refresh.
Oh,
God
they're
help us.
talking that it's going to. That was
Oh, I can't wait.
there was
That's
a big
needed more
announcement
than
on
anything.
that about that about the lack of quality that there's been, and I think that we're all in agreement. For years, you and I've been talking about how that's the one place that DC just killing Marvel is their animated series and movies just being top notch. And Kevin Feige is well aware of that and already addressed, hey, you know, something's getting an overhaul is going to be our animation. So
One thing with it though with
God, I hope
animation,
so.
I did like the Earth Mightiest Heroes. I didn't like necessarily the animation, but at least the storytelling in there was better than.
you know, I didn't hate it. I watched it with my kids for most of it and kind of teetered out just because I got busy. But I mean, yeah,
I watched
I didn't
too,
dislike
but-
it.
I
Like,
loved it.
they kept, like, refreshing with different... Like, they would do, like, 2 or 3 seasons, and then they refresh with a different set. It was still essentially Mightiest Heroes, but it was another...
Oh, that's Symbols. That's
Avengers...
I didn't watch Avengers Assembles. I didn't like that. I didn't like it from the first season. I wanted my Earth Mightiest Heroes, and they broke my heart.
Huh.
And
I
see-
assume they were the same thing.
So I'm thinking, well, the animation styles are very similar.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what Marvel really needs is an animation style refresh, but also a storytelling refresh. They need to be able, I mean, because if you look at, like, Warner Brothers, they got Superman Red Son coming out next year, and I'm excited about it. You can say, hey, we're doing a new Superman movie. Superman Red Son, though, like, oh, yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Because I love that story. It's a great story, and I can't wait to see it in animation. So Marvel needs to do some of that with some of their more esoteric stuff, or even some of the stuff that they're like, you know what, we don't have a Brother Voodoo movie on the slate, but this is an interesting character, a colorful world. We could do an animated horror style film with Brother Voodoo, and then bring that in and bring in some of those other characters from Satana or Hellstrom or whatever they want to do, and bring those characters into that as well.
All right, like I heard Power Pack. I heard I'd rather them do that with Power Pack.
I did hear. Oh yeah, I would rather an animated Power Pack than an actual
Power Pack movie.
Either way, I think it'll work.
You pitching a Power Pack.
I did pitch a Power Pack movie, and I think a Power Pack movie would work. And I am so amazed that I said pitch and Power Pack so much without tripping over my own tongue just there.
It would work.
I think
the
it really
dollars would
work.
come in, but I would hate it. I would hate it.
I would go see it before Captain Marvel 2. But anyway, I would. I would. But yeah, I think animation would probably be a better venue for Power Pack. A lot of the stuff that they have, I think, would be better served in animation because it's comic books. Everything. I used to say you can't show everything on screen. I think Marvel's kind of proven, hey, we can do anything we want to.
They're printing money at this point.
We got computers. We can make it. If we can't do it in CGI, we'll actually make it. So there's probably a real Tesseract somewhere because they couldn't get the CGI right, so they just made it because they got the money for it. So yeah, I think there's things that they can do. I'm trying to think of a property in my in the Marvel canon that they could do that's just like like Microverse. Do the Microverse. They actually do.
One thing that I guess WBDC they do. My bad.
No, we're not talking about the CW.
Right. Oh. But they also take some of their greatest stories and make those into the animated films. Where Marvel, other than Planet Hawk, they really haven't done that. I mean,
I think it's because they take all those things and they're throwing them into movies. They've had 20+ movies in 10 years.
But just like Secret Wars,
there's
either the old Secret Wars or they did that with with Spider-Man.
Secret Wars, no. Secret Wars would be legit.
Yeah, that would be a big one. But
have to be animated.
You got to do a build up for that because the reveal on it would be doing a show that you don't know is Secret Wars until it's like, oh hey, by the way.
Now that's what I think. I think that's what's going to happen when you said the animation is going to get a refresh. I think he's going to build an animated universe just like he built a live action universe.
And that would be awesome if he did.
And I think he's going to build to something like a Secret Wars that we haven't seen before and really introduce a ton of characters.
Oh, man. Like
and then
Pixar.
And then you pick the ones that are
doing popular and maybe do a live action.
Yeah.
That's the thing that's wonderful about having Kevin Feige and why I'm such a fan of him. Is because he's a fan of the property
and he's
that
a
he's
big
doing,
picture
and he
guy.
has such a great knowledge of how deep and rich that it is. And he's like, okay, hey, no, this is the story that we're telling right now, but there's a big story.
So you think he's got somewhere with this? You think he's got a yarn board with red and blue lines?
I do.
Going
I honestly
everywhere?
think he does. I think it's all in his head, and that he lets the people know as they need to know. Because I think that so much of it gets played so tight. I mean, because you don't hear stuff like that leak. People put out theories and stuff, but I mean, every time that people hear like, okay, they're doing this, and they announce stuff, and people are still amazed every time stuff comes out. And it's like, oh my god, this movie's better than the last movie, and for the most part, they all have been.
And of course, you'll have some people out there that are, your DC stans that'll be like, everything Marvel does is formulaic. It's the same, blah blah blah. Yeah, but they're printing money.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, making money isn't everything.
Yeah. The Charlie Sheen formula, it's winning.
Right. I believe if you look closely, we live in a capitalist society. So if whoever makes the money wins.
Yeah. Put it like this. Who's the guy that's waiting for the first snow day just to have an Avengers Day?
Right?
All right, told my wife today. It's like, as soon as the first snow day, just wake up, get breakfast going. We watching Avengers 1, Avengers 2.
Just going through the whole thing.
Just going through the whole thing.
I know, because
would that take a full day?
Just the four. This the 4 movies by itself.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Well, and they got the full phase, the 4K Blu-ray set that they've.
Oh my god, it's so expensive.
But it's so ridiculously expensive.
Yeah, I might buy it and hide it from my wife for like.
Does it come with something cool like
It
doesn't come with any fun toy?
Nope.
See, I just got the suitcase with the Tesseract. Just came in. Got traded in a couple weeks ago, and
why would you do that?
Oh, and I'm keeping that. I'm like, okay, that's not going out.
Yeah, no
that's awesome. But they did that. Then the phase 2, they did. I can't remember.
What did they do for phase 2? I forget.
I can't remember what it was, but it was a cool thing like that where it had like a prop, for it.
Yeah.
And then the phase 3, it's like, okay, here's a group of DVDs and
Like, yep, here you go.
Like, you forgot something.
Could you make it look like, the Infinity Gauntlet or something?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
And you open the fingers and all the movies are in there or something? No. Kevin's like, no, I already got your money. I'm already moving on to the next thing. So,
Yeah, I don't feel a need to buy the full catalog at this point. Again,
why would I? I'm going to get Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not offering everything on Disney Plus.
True.
You get a sprinkling of them.
Yet, and I think it's because they got some contracts and some distribution stuff worked out somewhere else, and they need to get all that squared away. But speaking of Disney Plus, well, we'll circle back around to Disney Plus. I was just going to talk about the tweet storm they caused a few days ago when they tweeted out. Well, I'll talk about it now. Every single film or TV show that's going to be on Disney Plus, they sent a separate tweet for it, starting in chronological order with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and then just moving on down the line until they got to Mandalorian. So 600 tweets later. Wow. Yeah, if you were following Disney, it's just like ding, notification. Oh, what's that? Ding, 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 and it just kept going.
Hey, we're sending a message
and going
a bunch of times.
Yeah, pretty much. So at first I thought, oh, that was an accident. Somebody screwed up. And then I thought, well, that's brilliant. Because now you got everybody looking at it.
It is brilliant.
And even if it was a screw up, it's a brilliant screw up. Like, hey, congratulations.
No.
It wasn't. That was planned. But it was
50 to 60 in, you're silencing your notifications.
Yeah, but it was pretty slick.
It got everybody's attention.
It got everybody's attention. And people were watching the feed for Disney to see if their favorite show or whatever from childhood was going to be on the list. I mean, Gargoyles is back, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, Gargoyles is on the list. So
that's cool, but I want to see a new Gargoyles.
I do too.
I want to see a live action Gargoyles done well.
True.
I was just giving it.
It could be done well.
Yes, they can.
It can be done
they
well.
Can.
It could be done well.
It's not Steppenwolf. Sorry, it's Thanos.
If they do, if they do a live action Cats, they can.
That just gave me nightmares again. Oh Lord, that just gave me nightmares again. Oh God.
That
was so
just
horrible.
even mentioning that movie felt like I just ate like half of a Taco Bell menu and then got on a roller coaster. That's just
FYI.
Wow, I feel bad right now.
FYI, they did release the pictures of Henry Cavill with the Cavill. That's his last name.
I think it's Cavill.
I'm not getting mixed up with him and Jesus. You gotta play Jesus.
Oh, Caviezel.
I can't mix it. Him and Cavill with him and his mustache.
Jesus.
It's like they've both played.
So you're saying he's the son of God?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
one is the son of El and one is the son of God, which means
they released the non-CGI mustache picture, and he looks so much better. I wish they would have just kept the beard on him. It would have made the movie probably even better too, because I keep picturing in my head Steppenwolf, but then also the first scene of him with the tucked in lip.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was the worst. But for me, and here we go again talking about WB's problems, and we're gonna swing back around to how great it's going to be at Marvel now that Kevin Feige's in charge of stuff. Like I said, a lot of the DC stands aren't going to like it. They don't like Kevin Feige. They don't like the Marvel universe because really, to me, when I look at them, it's just sour grapes. Mm-hmm. When you look at some of these guys complain, they're just sour. Well, Batman versus Superman was just so much better than whatever, and it's just like, wow, you're so. Oh, I feel bad for you. Like, you're just mad. Like, somebody ate the last Pop-Tart, and you're just mad that they enjoyed themselves. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
Shazam was better than Batman versus Superman.
Aquaman was better than Batman versus Superman.
Why do you have to be hardcore DC or hardcore Marvel? I've never been hardcore.
Because it's gang warfare. It's Crips versus Bloods.
See,
that's why these people
say
treat
that same
it.
crap about Star Wars and Star Trek, and I never cared. I mean,
yeah.
No, I didn't either.
I just
okay,
you want something good. The thing is, we want something good, and let's be straight honest, it was crap.
I'll be honest. The Last Jedi, no, it was not a good movie.
No.
And it was in my universe, and I'm not happy about it.
I am really looking forward to. I really want WB to get their stuff together. I really, really do, because I want a good Green Lantern movie. I love Green Lantern. I would love to see Okay, well, I know you guys are going to start with Hal Jordan because you always do. I would love to see Jon Stewart.
I would love to see Jon Stewart too.
Because when I was growing up, Jon Stewart was my Green Lantern. I didn't know who Hal Jordan was because Hal Jordan was dead in the comics when I started reading Green Lantern, and as a young child, and I had Jon Stewart.
They still haven't said it yet, but I think you're going to get a Jon Stewart in Crisis on Infinite Earths. They haven't said anything about it, but I mean, if they're going to give all the other fan service they put out
everything.
there,
they got
I thought they said
they got the chick from the original Birds of Prey TV show.
Right. I think they said Diggle was being he's gonna be Jon Stewart.
Awesome.
Well, there
there
was a scene in was a couple seasons ago where John Wesley Shipp, playing his version of the Flash, shows up and he sees John, and he says something to him about, "Hey, John, how you doing?" He's like, "Hey, where's your ring?" Mm-hmm. Like. It was kind of like that fan service moment, like, oh, we've been talking about him being Stewart this whole time. Oh.
And they gave another one where they found out his actual dad's last name was General Stewart. So if you're gonna do all that, just and not have him, Jon Stewart, and
there's also a rumor now that the Titans from the TV show is going to be in
No, that's not a rumor. I think that was confirmed that they are going to show up on.
Right.
I don't know how.
And Lucifer.
Okay, and Lucifer.
That I did hear.
But here's the thing. And what people are mistaking, there's so many people from different versions or every version of WB shows since time began. Everybody's excited because they think they're going to see their favorite and get scenes and blah blah blah.
No, you're gonna get.
It's gonna be a flashpoint.
You're gonna get like a
Flash is gonna be good. See these fractures of universes, and you're gonna see a little bitty picture over here of the original Birds of Prey woman.
It's gonna be one of those things you're gonna see on YouTube later where they go frame by frame by frame. Oh, look, it's the original Birds of Prey frame.
You're going to see Brandon Routh because they've been really talking that up, and Brandon Routh has been in the gym. Brandon Routh is yoked. He's been in the gym working out to fill out his suit, and I'm proud of him because that suit looks amazing.
And it's even more like of a spandex suit than the layered.
We were looking at that the other day, and I was like,
shirt.
Brandon Routh was on that Henry Cavill diet. He was like, hey, I need
chicken and broccoli.
Yeah, chicken and broccoli.
Chicken, broccoli,
yeah.
Just lifting a dumbbell as
lifting eating in one hand and lifting in the other, just back and forth. And he got jacked. So his outfit looks really good, and you have some others that they have showcased that you are going to see more of, but not. But then some of the others, you're going to see Tom Welling for a little bit, but you're not going to see this huge swath of people get any decent screen time with the current stars. It's just not going to happen.
No.
It's just not going to happen. That's just not what this event is about. So, get excited because it sounds like it's going to be good, but don't get that excited. I mean, I hate to even say it's still the CW, but I do think it's probably
still going to be bigger than the airport scene that we got in Civil War, though. So.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
And they usually throw a lot more money at the crossovers than
that's where they usually put all their money, and you can tell because if you look at the episodes before and after it on any of the shows,
it's crap.
They look bad. And it's
no action.
Yeah, that's the
1990 CGI.
This is where we had to take the money from. Yeah, where you see Supergirl just go outside and she does this, but you never see her fly.
Today's where we focus in a microscope on the backstory of a character and their inner problems. Yeah, I totally get
here's the last kid that sells newspapers on the corner. Like, wait a minute.
What
about the other main stars? We couldn't afford them for this episode. We had to pay for CGI in the Crisis crossovers.
And this is totally off that topic, but I watched the first episode of the new season of The Flash. Like, they were hyping Godspeed.
Oh, that quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
That was,
hold on.
but it wasn't Godspeed.
No, none of them were Godspeed, but still. Like, why are you going to hype that and then put him in for a minute and he's not actually Godspeed and then, all right, we're moving on?
Because speed effects are expensive. That's why. Speed effects are expensive. And
they didn't even really show the speed effects. They just showed the two lines as they were fast and around each other.
Somewhere, man. Crisis on Infinite Earths is going to have a ton of effects.
So all of the episodes leading up to then all the shows.
Everybody had to donate. Everybody had to kick in something.
That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, everybody had to kick in.
You might as well not even watch the season until after Crisis on Infinite Earths because they pulled all the budget out of them.
Pretty much. Because that's just how the CW operates. But I do want those shows to turn around and get better. I really want the movies to turn around and get better. But speaking of turning around and getting better, you had some news about Ryan Reynolds, and this still kind of goes along with the whole Kevin Feige thing. We're going to circle back around to Marvel. What happened with Ryan Reynolds this weekend?
So, apparently Ryan Reynolds got a call from Kevin Feige, and he had to go meet with the King, and they were talking about Deadpool 3 and his.
I don't know. I think he's King Leonidas from Sparta.
His future with the MCU and with the the Mouse House and how that's all going to work. Apparently, his movies, they're going to let him stay R, and
which is what they should
be. They're like, that works. Keep making us money. So Deadpool movies are going to be R. He's going to be in the MCU movies going forward.
But those
PG-13,
and it'll be the Once Upon a Deadpool version of him, where they scale it back but keep it as
They'll
edgy.
still have to scale it back because.
Okay, here's the thing though. If you listen to the dialogue that's in MCU, I mean, there's cussing. There's
not as much as there was in Once Upon a Deadpool. They were up against the line.
No doubt. They were
absolutely up against the line. But I don't
there's
think
so much that has slid.
There was a lot. They rode that line heavy before Marvel bought Disney. Or Disney bought Marvel. Like those movies, you could tell a sharp contrast between the line that they rode then and then when Disney bought it.
Okay.
Like Tony stopped sleeping with all those women once Disney bought him.
Ryan Reynolds' delivery of a dirty joke is so in your face versus when RDJ tells a dirty joke and you're like,
you have to think about it. Yeah,
true.
I hope you guys aren't playing
slipped it under the cuff.
Yeah, he's more cerebral. Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
And no, he did not just say that. And
Ryan Reynolds will just come out and tell you. Yeah.
And it's all in the way that it's delivered. But,
yeah.
So he's gonna get to be him in his standalone movies, and then they'll scale him back, for the MCU stuff. One of my favorite parts about that was that they were saying that when he's in the MCU, he's part of the MCU proper, and his movies, it's not connected to the MCU. He can still make references to the MCU because he's meta and breaks that fourth wall, and he can talk about stuff, but his stuff doesn't directly affect the other.
Okay.
So
that'll be fun.
It's great because he's crazy. So
he could be imagining it all.
It just makes fun places for your mind to go with, trying to put a bow around it.
Yeah, and there'll be fun places for him to show up.
True.
And kind of pop up like, what's Deadpool doing here? Whatever. And it'll be really fun ways to kind of bring in that comedic element of Ryan.
As long as they pull the "I want to fight Matt Damon" stick somewhere in there, I'll be happy.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. I mean, I'm assuming that they'll be able to get those other individuals on board to do those little cameos like they have done in the Deadpool movies. Is that they'll still want to do them for Disney as opposed to Fox. I'm sure they will because they all like money,
right?
So. And Disney owns all those Soul contracts now, so I'm sure they have to do it. But yeah, I think it's a great thing for Disney or for Marvel. I think it'll be very interesting. Oh, one thing I am really interested in. We got 3 minutes left. I'm interested in what this means for their current TV shows. Cloak and Dagger, Runaways.
None of them are doing well enough to.
They're gonna make them better.
I don't.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
I don't think they're doing well enough to keep them.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. ends this year.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering if there could be a retooling of Runaways and a retooling of Cloak and Dagger, or if he's just going to leave them and kind of naturally let them die off.
And they're also on fringe networks too.
Oh, and here's the other thing. What about the shows? Speaking of the TV stuff, right? Because they've already kind of put the kibosh on Ghost Rider. What about Hellstrom? What about the adult animated Howard the Duck show that they were going to do for Hulu? What about, all of that whole animation block that they were going to do for Hulu, the more adult-oriented
they were talking about the animation deal for Deadpool getting brought back, too.
Really?
Oh,
that
Donald Glover script was legit. I hope they make that because
and they already
did you read that script?
But they already finished the animation for the first episode too. So
yeah, they did have a lot of animation for it. If you get a chance to go Google, you'll find it because it was leaked. I think it was leaked from Donald Glover's email address. But there is the treatment for the first episode, and man, oh man, it's good. Now, if you could get Donald Glover to write that. Him and Ryan Reynolds together could probably have the most meta movie ever. But yeah, go look that script up.
Okay.
It's super funny. That's the first time I've ever read a spec script, and laughed out loud. It's that good.
Huh.
Right? Because usually you need an actor to kind of deliver that comedic line.
Right.
Before you get the gist of it. This was funny.
It's great when you have somebody that can write a character and you can hear how the character talks when you're reading. It's like, wow, you get this character so much, I can literally hear them. It's like if you read something, it's got a picture of Morgan Freeman over the top of it, and you're like, okay, yeah, I just read that, and his voice, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, just if I close my eyes, I can see an old black man with chocolate chips on his face. So yeah, sorry, I didn't mean that. Yes, I did. Morgan's not gonna watch this episode. You just want your job, Morgan. Yes, I do. All of it.
He doesn't have to like change his. All he has to do is read.
And because he's Morgan Freeman,
right?
And he just reads slow, and that's how they like it. So anyway, that'll be all the time we have for this week. There's so much more we could talk about going on about Marvel. We didn't even talk about Kevin Smith and his Masters of the Universe update. Maybe we'll get into that next week.
I want to talk about El Camino next week.
We'll have to talk about El Camino next week because I still haven't watched it yet. You guys can watch it. And plenty more to come. So till next week, tell them F you.